news across the nation and around the globe. Welcome to Prime TV News with me, Iftia Abdul Kader. A look at your headlines first. President intends to present a set of proposals on Sri Lanka to the UN sessions. Prime Minister returns home after a successful visit to Vietnam, attending the ASEAN Economic Forum. Special inquiry planned into the President and Gotabaya murder conspiracy complaint. India assures it will not influence the Sri Lankan market. And on news overseas, multiple fires and explosions rock towns near Boston. On to our lead story. President Maithripala Sirisena has said that he intends to present a series of proposals related to Sri Lanka on the 25th of this month at the annual sessions of the United Nations General Assembly. The president made this reference when he met media heads this morning. President Maithripala Sirisena met the media heads at the president's house. The president said that the series of proposals contain in securing relief with respect to the implementation of proposals presented by the United Nations Human Rights Council to Sri Lanka, as well as working without harming the status of the country's sovereignty, national security, and the dignity of the security forces. The president further said that he desired to hand over this set of proposals in writing to the United Nations Commissioner on Human Rights and the United Nations Secretary General. The president made clarifications with regard to the problematic situation that has arisen on the arrest of suspects and keeping them in remand custody without indicting them so far. The president pointed out that there had been a delay in filing an action against the suspects connected to some incidents. He also said that despite cases not being filed, several military personnel had been arrested and were being kept in remand for a long period of time. He told the media heads that he had called upon the officers of the CID and other investigating officers and had instructed them to expedite the process without detaining military personnel for a long period of time without filing action. Speaking further, the president pointed out to the media heads that national security in the country has not been weakened under the present government. The president said that the present government has not at all weakened national security. The president also made clarifications with regard to the Sri Lanka-Singapore trade agreement. President Maithripala Sirisena took the initiative of briefing the media institutions on the programs mooted by the government for the irrigation sector. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has returned to the island, successfully ending his tour of Vietnam, bettering the ties with world leaders and further strengthening bilateral ties. The president undertook the visit to Vietnam to participate in the ASEAN World Economic Forum. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe attended this World Economic Forum in Hanoi, Vietnam, following an invitation extended to him. The Prime Minister and his delegation on arrival at the Hanoi Noi Bai International Airport was conducted in a special motorcade to the hotel where he took up his lodging. Talks between Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc were held at the Vietnamese Prime Minister's office. They focused attention on economic as well as exchange of programs on political, religious, social and business sectors. The two leaders discussed further relaxing visa regulations between the two countries and also drew their attention to launching direct flights between the two countries. Agreement was reached to organize exchange programs on the business sector. Indonesian President Joko Widodo during talks with the Sri Lankan Premier, said that a joint program should be mooted for free shipping and protecting peace in the Indian Ocean, strengthening friendly ties between the two countries. It was also agreed to prepare the background to reach a free trade agreement between the two countries in the future. During bilateral discussions between Prime Minister of Laos, Thongloun Sisulit, and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, it was emphasized that the present trade, investment and business ties should be further expanded based on the strong foundation of consolidating cultural ties. Prime Minister Thongloun Sisulit extended an invitation to Ranil Wickremesinghe to undertake a visit to Laos. The ASEAN World Economic Forum was held in the Vietnamese capital, Hanoi. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe attended the forum as a special invitee. The Prime Minister joined in a special panel of discussion of the ASEAN World Economic Summit. He said that the future of the ASEAN economy depended on the Indo-Pacific free navigation. During talks between Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and ASEAN Secretary General Lim Jock Hoi, views were exchanged on Theravada Buddhism and strengthening ties in the education and youth fields. Premier Wickremesinghe also had discussions with Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen, and the Cambodian Prime Minister invited Sri Lankan entrepreneurs to come to his country to undertake business ventures. Priority should be given to launching business ventures between the two countries. Views were exchanged on the preparation of a mutual investment defense agreement. Visa regulations will be relaxed between the two nations. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe also had discussions with South Korean Foreign Minister Kang Kyung-hwa. They discussed the establishment of a South Korean industrial zone in Sri Lanka. On to a headline-making story. Deputy Minister for Law and Order, Nalin Bandara, has said that firm attention has been drawn to statements made that there is a conspiracy to assassinate President Maithripala Sirisena and former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Director of the anti-corruption movement, Namal Kumara, had lodged a complaint with the Police Commission that DIG Nalaka De Silva of the Police Terrorist Investigations Division had made this conspiracy. Accordingly, the Office of the Police Media spokesman said that the police chief has also called upon the Police Special Investigations Unit to launch an immediate inquiry. Expressing his views in this respect, Deputy Minister Nalin Bandara said that the Sri Lanka Police and the Police Commission have taken action to investigate a statement made with respect to DIG Nalaka Silva, which had led to a controversy. He said that the Prime Minister has also been apprised of this matter. Although Minister Ranjit Madhuma Bandara is out of the country, he has given instructions in this regard. In addition to these inquiries, he said that he thinks that a certain special decision is due to be taken today or tomorrow on the instructions of the minister. India has assured that it would not influence the market prevailing in Sri Lanka. This assurance was given by India's High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Taranjit Singh Sandhu. The Indian diplomat pointed out that the Indian market is 100-fold bigger than the Sri Lanka market. The Indian High Commissioner was addressing state officials in the eastern province in Trincomalee.
Many of you may be aware that India today is the fastest major growing economy in the world. The scale and speed of economic transformation in India offers unique opportunities for all the countries. All the major countries, and I mean who are present in Sri Lanka too, are looking to enter into the Indian market. The Indian market today is perhaps the biggest potential market which all the major economies in the world want to enter into. And Sri Lanka is one of our closest neighbors. Therefore, this is a unique opportunity for Sri Lanka to enter into Indian market. I'm not talking what you read in the newspapers, India wanting to enter Sri Lankan market. No, we have a huge market in India. I am trying to mention to you, it's an opportunity for Sri Lanka to enter into Indian market.
You're watching Prime TV News, and still on local news, 5 persons have suffered injuries following the explosion of an ammonia gas tank at a rubber factory at Poruwadanda in Horana. The cylinder exploded after it had accidentally fallen off when being taken out of a truck which had transported several ammonia cylinder tanks to the factory this morning. The condition of 2 of the injured is reported to be critical. One of the injured is receiving treatment at the intensive care unit of the Horana Base Hospital. The other, who is in a critical condition, has been transferred to the Colombo National Hospital. The Ingiriya police are pursuing further investigations into the incident. State Minister Dilip Vedarachi has said that compensation will be handed over to family members of the fishermen who died after their multi-day trawler capsized in the Southern Sea. State Minister Dilip Vedarachi said that the boat mishap was a sad and sorrowful incident that had been experienced. Compensation that is due to the members of the family of those fishermen killed in this incident would be provided by their insurance company. Also, the Fisheries Ministry planned to provide a compensation. Half of the cost of the multi-day trawler will also be given to the owner of the vessel by the ministry. The Criminal Investigations Department has filed a case against former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayaka. The case was filed in the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court today. The related case has been filed against him with respect to giving false evidence to the Bond Commission, which was appointed to inquire into fraud said to have taken place in the issue of treasury bonds by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Chief Magistrate Ranga Dissanayaka postponed the further inquiry in the case for the 28th of this month. The Criminal Investigations Department has accused that he had given false evidence to the Bond Commission on 2nd August last year. The government has emphasized that the Good Governance Administration has done its maximum in the payment of compensation to those impacted by communal and religious clashes, as well as on behalf of damaged property. Even the present government has granted compensation to those who were impacted in the Kandy incident, as well as to those affected by communal clashes in Alutgama during the Rajapaksa regime. Parliamentarian Mahinda Rajapaksa, during his tour of India, had told the Hindu newspaper that the present government has done nothing to those impacted by communal clashes. But throughout the 10-year rule of the Rajapaksa administration, a political campaign was carried out spreading communalism. The Rajapaksa regime not only built extremist organizations such as the Bodubala organization, but also nurtured such organizations via the military intelligence. There is reasonable doubt as to whether Mr. Rajapaksa is suffering from dementia, making false statements to the international, willfully forgetting the incidents that happened during his rule. The statement made by Rajapaksa to The Hindu clearly proved such a situation. His dementia situation aggravated when he was recently grilled by the Criminal Investigations Department on the Keith Noya incident. The Good Governance Administration succeeded in awarding full compensation to all those who were affected by the communal disturbances in Kandy. Also, reasonable compensation was given to those who were affected by the communal clashes in Alutgama. This was done while building reconciliation in the entire country. Health Minister Rajitha Senaratne has said that a decision has been taken to set up a National Health Research Council. The minister further said that it had received the nod of the cabinet. It will handle the regulation of health research, coordination, supervision, development and management. The health research sector in Sri Lanka should be improved. A cabinet memorandum in this respect had been presented in the year 2003. However, it had not yet been implemented. Accordingly, the minister said that a decision has been taken to appoint a new research council. 5 members are due to be appointed to this council. This research council will be appointed based on the present draft bill that is to be drafted on the instructions of the legal draftsman. The health minister pointed out that the related bill will be published in an extraordinary gazette notification. That's the lot from the Prime TV News. For more information, visit www.itnews.lk. Do join us once again tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. for more of the very latest on Prime TV News. Bye-bye.